What does it feel like to walk on a frozen sea, float in Arctic waters, and travel through ice so thick it sounds like glass shattering beneath you? This is Kemi, where winter turns a Baltic Sea into a frozen world straight out of a movie. Today I'm boarding a real Arctic icebreaker cruise for one of the wildest experiences you can have in Finland. And trust me, this is not your normal cruise. Because out here, the ship doesn't sail around the ice, it crashes directly through it. At first, everything feels still. The sea is frozen solid, snow covers the horizon endlessly, and then suddenly you hear it, the deep sound of steel breaking through the ice. Slowly, the massive icebreaker moves forward, crushing thick frozen layers beneath it like glass. It's powerful and loud, and somehow incredibly satisfying to watch. You're just not on a cruise anymore, you're entering the Arctic. The ship itself feels like a machine built for survival, designed to operate in extreme Arctic winters. These icebreakers keep northern shipping routes open even when the sea completely freezes over. And standing on the deck, while icy wind hits your face, you immediately realize that this isn't a normal tourist experience. This is a real Arctic exploration. As the ship moves deeper into the frozen Baltic Sea, the landscape becomes more surreal. Massive ice sheets stretch endlessly in every direction. The icebreaker cuts directly through them, leaving broken floating ice behind like shattered mirrors. The sound echoes across the frozen landscape, crunching, cracking, roaring beneath your feet. And then comes a moment that feels completely unreal. The engines stop, the ship slowly comes to a standstill in the middle of the frozen sea. For a second, there's total silence. Then the crew opens the doors, and suddenly you're stepping out onto a frozen ocean. It's not a lake, not a small frozen pond, it's an actual sea. Your brain almost struggles to process it. Beneath your feet is thick Arctic ice stretching endlessly into the horizon. The frozen surface cracks softly under your boots while snow blows across the ice. Some people walk carefully, others slide around like laughing like kids, but almost everyone pauses for a moment just to observe how insane this experience really is. Because how often can you say you walked on a frozen sea? And then comes one of the most traditional Arctic experiences of all, the ice fishing, right in the middle of the frozen sea. We drill through thick layers of ice until freezing dark water appears below, and then we wait. No phones, no engines, just cold Arctic air and complete silence. Ice fishing isn't about speed or excitement, it's about patience. But somehow the adventure gets even crazier. Next comes the Arctic ice floating. Now, normally jumping into freezing water sounds like the worst idea possible. But here they suit you up in giant thermal survival suits designed to keep you warm and floating effortlessly. And the moment you enter icy water, everything changes. You don't sink, you don't panic, you just simply float peacefully. Surrounded by broken Arctic ice pieces drifting around you, you lean back and stare up at the winter sky. The world becomes quiet, no movement, no stress, just you floating peacefully in the middle of the frozen sea. It's strange, relaxing, and honestly one of the most surreal feelings imaginable. There's something about the Arctic that humbles you. Maybe it's the endless ice, maybe it's the silence, or maybe it's just realizing how powerful nature truly is out here. Everything feels slower, cleaner, and simpler. And for a few moments, you stop thinking about everything else and just exist in the moment. Some trips entertain you while others completely change the way you experience nature. This was one of those experiences. Kemi feels like stepping into another world. And honestly, this might be one of the most magical winter adventures on earth.